Welcome to another episode of Don't Let It Stu. One of my faves is here. Zack Peters in the house. Hi, Zack. Welcome back.
Hello.
We're just getting into it. I have like the same intro for you, and I was like, "Oh, you've like 9 podcasts." I'm like, "Okay, we're done with that joke. Okay, just like move on, Stu." How have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. We haven't hung out in a while.
I know. I've been good. Been busy, living life, doing all the adulting things.
Oh, that's good. Good for you. How's dating going?
Non-existent.
Oh, okay, we'll get into that in a second. Because I want to get into it. What I want to get off my chest this week, and it came up on bonappetit.com. I saw this thing, and it's so funny because it happened to me. Well, it happened at a restaurant I was at South Beverly Grill. Restaurant time limits. Have you ever been like attacked about that or not? Like
Only during like pandemic era is when I feel like it was like super crazy. Because then they're like 90 minutes, and I'm like, okay, let's like stop the spread by limiting how long I'm in your vicinity. So let's shuffle more people through this restaurant.
During the pandemic, we would like pay people like $150 like at the door at the Abbey. We're like, we're sitting here for 5 hours. We're sitting at this fucking table. We're going to spend money. Like, don't worry about it. You know?
Yeah.
We're like, we don't want to go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's becoming a thing now because you're right. From the pandemic, they're still kind of implementing it.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. It's so, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just so annoying. Like the reason I was a few minutes late is I was having one of those difficult conversations with your team where I was like, hey, there was like a 14-day delay. There's a 2-week delay on this. Like, this can't happen again.
Yeah.
They're like, well, it's because I had COVID. I was like, I get it. That happens, but also that's not an excuse. And like, I will give you a grace period, but like, no, we're not doing that anymore. This isn't, no. Sorry.
2 weeks. Did you have COVID for 2 weeks, that person? Like, my God.
They had COVID, but then they kept like testing positive and we're still feeling a little off. And I was like, I don't know. Not even when COVID was COVID.
What had to do? Can you say the task? You can't. Or what were you?
No, it was related to accounting. So there's no reason we need to be having like, that's not like, we don't need those delays, especially when it comes to accounting. Like, the finances are the most important thing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So yeah, it was one of those situations. But I'm like, listen, not even when COVID was COVID were people down for 2 weeks. Like, if you were down for 2 weeks, you were done. You were out. Like, what?
People were delighted. They were at home. They're watching TV. They were catching up on their stories.
Yeah.
It's like, so I was at the restaurant. I was at South Beverly Grill. I was with Thomas and his husband, and we were sitting at the bar, and we go there all the time. Like, the bartenders know us and stuff. And we sit down. We're there maybe like an hour and 20 tops. But we spend money. We move fast. We drink our drink. We get another bottle of wine. We go, right? These 2 girls, no shitting you. Now, it was probably 7 p.m. at this point. The bartender goes to us, and she's like looking at her. And now there's a line. There's a wait list. If anybody's gone to South Beverly Grill in Beverly Hills, you got to be there when the door opens. If you want to just get in and sit down, like at the bar, it just fills up. There's a list. It's like 45 minutes, an hour, all the time. Yeah. And these 2 girls, they're like nursing a half a glass of wine each. There's nothing left in the bottle. The bartender goes to us. They've been here since 4:30. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, can you say anything to them? And she's like, we can't really. And like this, that, and the other. And it's kind of awkward and this, that, and the other. So like, you have the manager kind of like walking in and walking out, walking in, walking out, kind of like, hey, is everything okay? Can I get you anything else? Like, no, we're good. Like, I thought Thomas was going to like just jump at them. I was like, no, none of your business. Stay away. Like, just stay away, you know?
Oh my God.
So I think in that, like that, you need to be like, hey, you know, we've reached kind of like the prime time, the busy hour. Like, you know, I hate to be like, do that, but you know, it's kind of, you know, it's been like 2.5. Like, how do you say it?
Get the fuck out. At that point, that's how you say.
There must be a line. I wonder, like, I must ask.
I think people know, like, people know when they're being rushed out, and I think they just choose to not want to leave. Like, they'll stay for whatever reason. Yeah. Like, they don't want to have to go somewhere else and order another drink somewhere else or whatever.
Yeah. Why don't we just stay here? Yeah. Oh God. It was my birthday weekend last weekend. I went to Atlanta. I'm still recovering.
Yeah.
I got there. I took a red eye on the Thursday night. Got there on the Friday morning. My two friends I was staying with two of my best friends. Their husbands, and my other friend Jason came in. So it was like it was like the original four when we all used to live here in LA. We'd all hang out. We're like best friends, and oh my God, like they took me out. They had a plan. He sent me a schedule. I love a friend that has a schedule. I'm like, oh, this is great. We have our reservations. We know exactly where we're going. Even the nap is included at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. before we have our cocktail. Like, it was one of the best birthdays I've ever had. Like, it was so. Have you been to Atlanta?
Oh, once many years ago.
You gotta go. Like, we gotta go because do a live show there or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should. But it was like they took me to all the bars, restaurants. I made out with a guy one night. He was really nice. I might go back there again. Who knows? It was a good weekend. You can't but you know what's so funny? Like, because my friend knew like it was going to be a heavy weekend. We go to lunch. So I get in at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. They're up. I take the MARTA, I take the train, and I get there. So I take a nap for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I take the red eye. He's like, okay, we're gonna go for lunch. And then after lunch, they take me and get IVs. We all get IVs. I'm like, why are we getting IVs? We haven't even had a drink yet. He's like, oh, we're just doing this in preparation. I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
Precautionary. I like it.
I still wanted to kill myself on the plane coming back Sunday, but I'm sure it helped.
You should take the IV afterwards. The IVs are to replenish.
I know.
Otherwise, like, your body's already good. So when you deplete it, like, you're just, that's like soaking a sponge in water before squeeze. Like, you need to re-soak it after you squeeze all the water out, not just let it sit in water, because that doesn't do anything.
And literally was just water. I was like, oh, is there like vitamins in this? And he's like, no, it's just saline or whatever water. I'm like, oh. I'm like, could we not just get a bottle of Evian instead of spending $100? I'm like, okay. I've been unhinged, as you know. It's been a great. I've loved it. I've been unhinged. Let's see tonight. Solid matches, good communication, almost.
Okay.
Last week, if to give everybody an update, a guy wanted to do like a FaceTime interview with me. Like, first to see like, hey, if you're good enough, then we'll go on the date.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that before?
I love that. Oh my God. That's the best. Think of it. Like, I can spend 10 minutes on FaceTime with you and decide whether or not this is going to work, or I can waste 45 to an hour going somewhere, buying a drink, spending time with somebody I may not even like. Like, how many times have you been on a shitty date? A 5-minute, 10-minute FaceTime call?
But look, anyway, he was all about it. I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? That's different. I've never done it before. Let's go ahead and do it.
You did it?
No. And
you didn't do it.
No, I didn't do it because I said, he's like, hey, do you have some time Thursday or Friday? And we'll get on the FaceTime. And I'm like, great. How is Friday? My day is light on Friday. I can do it. Just let me know the time. Never got back to me. So I never reached back out.
Oh,
hey, you never got back to me on that time. I'm not doing that. If you wanted to have the fucking FaceTime, go have the FaceTime. At this point, we could have had a coffee. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So anyway, that didn't happen. But like, I'm getting lots of roses. I went on a date last week? Yeah, was it last week? With an Australian guy. Super nice. The date was a 10 out of 10. But the follow-up is terrible. Like, I feel like I'm like texting him a few times. I'm like, I'm not. Like, how was your week? Great, thanks. I'm like, oh God. So anyway, I have a date. So we're taping this on Friday. So I have a date tonight.
Okay.
We've been hitting it off on the text. It's great. I'm super excited. I'm really excited. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know.
You're very optimistic about dating.
I have to be. Like, I have to. I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to receive. Like, I'm just ready.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
Good for you. Live your best life.
Yeah. I also heard that people are actually they're struggling spelling on their profiles. I saw a certain profile of a certain person and there was lots of mistakes on that profile. I mean, do you not check your shit?
Was that person's name Jeff Lewis?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Someone sent me a screenshot. I don't know. Apparently they couldn't spell Jojo Siwa. Anyway, Let's get on to OC.
Let's do it.
Did you watch it last? Well, yeah, of course you watched
I
it
did. I watched it this morning.
this morning. Out the gate, like I just want to talk about this fashion show thing with Emily. First of all, I felt so bad for her last night. I'm totally team Emily. You're like, oh Jesus, okay, Zach's gonna go against me on this one. What do you like? I don't think she was malicious like Heather about like the pants and the jeans, but it was fucking weird when the lineup photograph was, and she was the only wearing jeans. And my whole thing is, why not ask her to bring a black pair of pants?
Well, I'm sure they just wanted a variety of options.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for saying that. Because I mean,
Like, why do you want everybody wearing black? That doesn't show the versatility of the brand.
But does she have jeans in the brand? Everybody was wearing black. Oh, I need to see the photograph.
Well, they can just show you that you don't need to wear head to toe. You're not Dorit wearing head to toe Versace. Like, you can mix and match different brands. You can wear it casual like Emily, or you can dress it up like Tamra.
Oh, I like your options there. It's very nice. You got it going on. I also so it was a great episode. I like that Emily read out that like penal code about the blackmail thing.
Yeah.
Which was very interesting. It is interesting.
I mean, listen, it is extortion. They're trying to get money from her, or else they're threatening the release of something private, being these videos. Like, it's total extortion.
It is, yeah. So I mean, Emily said like it is going to blow back in John's face.
It already has. Nobody likes. Everybody hates him even more now.
I know.
Had John just not participated this season, had Alexis not come to his defense, like people, Shannon probably wouldn't have looked, because like the reality is she got a DUI and she's still drinking. The optics of that are not good. But the only reason people are Team Shannon is because we're seeing how this pile-on from John and Alexis is literally breaking her. That it's like nobody else wants to kick her while she's down.
Yeah. No, and everybody's on her side, which is really nice to see. Even like Emily, big time. You saw last night.
Why would you say big time? You trying to fat shame her, Stu?
No.
You said Emily big time.
Emily's my friend. I would never say that.
Sounds like you were fat shaming her.
Oh my God. But I did feel bad for her. And like, what did you think about like when they were, they're all sitting around and Emily's trying to tell her like, hey, I felt hurt because of this. Like people are saying like Heather made it about herself. Did she? Kind of.
I mean, I think Heather made it about herself because Emily kept making it about Heather. Listen, I get it. I understand Emily's issues with her body. As somebody that was really fat, I lost like 70 pounds and have since I think I've gained back maybe 20, but it's like my body's different now. I haven't gained it back in fat, I've gained it back in muscle. And so I've gone on like a journey with my own body and like now, really enjoy working out the same way Emily does. And so I understand where she's coming from and I understand the insecurities of like, well, my body versus somebody else. Like it's hard to not compare when you're so used to just being the fat one. It's hard to then not compare to people who are naturally thin or naturally more fit. And so I get where Emily's coming from. I empathize with a lot of, the insecurities that she does have. But I think the way that I understand she was just trying to express how she felt, but like she kept insinuating that Heather was doing things intentionally. Like Heather, you told me I had to bring jeans. Like, why would you single me out? Like, and I get Heather's point of being like, I'm literally there to raise money for a fucking charity. The last thing I'm thinking about is you feeling insecure in a pair of jeans.
I agree. I don't like Heather wasn't out to like get her or anything like that. I think it's just the way it happened and the way it looked.
Yeah.
It may have looked like that, but like Heather's not fucking
I don't even think it was that it looked like that. I think it just magnified the situation itself, magnified Emily's triggers. And that's natural. But we also, need to understand just because we feel triggered about something, that's not necessarily anybody else's fault. We need to be responsible for our own triggers. So I got it and Heather's like, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry that you feel that way. That makes me sad that you would feel insecure. Like she kept validating Emily, but then it did just keep going on. And listen, we're watching an edited version. I can't imagine how long this conversation went on in person.
That's actually true. I didn't think about that. Oh my God. Oh God. Yeah. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. What was the whole thing? Like, I didn't get like the thing with like Emily said, like, oh, and I saw Alexis and she's in this dress, and I was like, da da da. Like, was it the same size dress, or no? Alexis had a smaller dress. Like, what was the reason? What was that? I didn't understand that.
It was the same dress, but they were different sizes.
Got it.
So Emily was saying, I felt insecure because you put me in the same dress as Alexis, who's tiny, and
Got
I
it. Got it.
felt insecure wearing the same dress as Alexis. And then Alexis inserted herself. That's the only one I really didn't like in all this was Alexis. Cause I'm like, and all the
Yeah.
other girls were like, Alexis, she was literally giving you a compliment of saying,
Compliment.
like, you made her feel insecure because you looked so good. Like, and Alexa's like, why am I? And I'm like, shut up. Like, nobody even wants you here.
And the dramatics then of Alexis, like, they're like, spit it out, spit it
Do you
out.
know what I'm going through?
And it's like,
What are
you're
you
bringing
going
it up
through?
again.
What are you going through? Like, please tell me, what are
Here's what
you
I think.
going through?
I think something happened with John. I think they had a fight or something like that. Something wasn't so fucking rosy. And that's what she was stressed about. And she was like, fuck, I can't tell them the real reason. I'm just going to spit this out that it's so much trouble, the lawsuit, the courts and all that. Like, it's like, at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about John and Shannon.
And the only reason you're involved in this is because you keep inserting yourself.
Yes.
Like, he probably, because if we watch this episode and we see Shannon and the attorneys, Shannon finds out on camera that there are these videos. We know about these videos because Alexis reveals this on camera, which was John, as he referred to it per his attorney, his insurance policy. But I also think that was his like back pocket weapon that Alexis then reveals on camera. So when Shannon's lawyers are threatening that this is extortion, it is extortion. But I think John was upset that now the extortion was exposed on the show because now we're talking about these videos because Alexis said it on air. So he was probably upset with her about that. And she's probably like, well, I was just trying to defend you. And he's like, but you fucked up. Because that's the time, like, we already know that that's how John is. And he's coaching, he used to coach Shannon. He's coaching Alexis on what to do and what to say. Alexis fumbled the ball by mentioning the videos because that wasn't supposed to come out on the show. And it did. And it made John look worse.
Yes. Oh my God. You just cracked the code.
That's what I do.
Cracked the penal code. Shannon's going on tour. We saw Doug last night from Jeff Lewis Live on there. He looks good. He was doing a great job on the tour. It looks like Shannon's just having good fun, but I hate when the cameras are all like, hey, can I get a vodka soda? Like Tito's, whatever you want. Like, it's just like, just leave her alone. Like, you know what I mean? Let her have a fucking cocktail. She's going on stage, to like chill the nerves. It's just so fun. It's just crazy. It's just, I know it's crazy for me. Jennifer Pedanti and the kid, that was a really nice moment, I thought, as well. Like, just with the kid, I just felt really bad for her. Like, I feel like she's trying so fucking hard, and it's like the kids are like, I'm out.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's the hard part is it's like at that age, the kids think they know best. They know what they want. They think that, you're just being annoying. I'm sure the dad is his favorite because the dad's a lot more lenient. And, here mom is trying to put some rules down and some structure, and teenagers don't want rules or structure. And I'm sure she's just like struggling. Like, she doesn't know how to provide for these kids. She's now having to rely on Ryan because she wasn't able to get the money that she needed from her ex. So I'm sure there's all that added stress that's making her second guess herself and question whether or not she's even a good mom. And then now, she's going through this issue with her son where now he wants to live with his dad. And like, it's a lot.
Didn't she say, like, he's like, I have an apartment and he keeps me, like, he lets me have my space. I'm like,
he's too young to be having an apartment and having his own space.
But he did. That's what he said, right?
I don't remember him saying that.
I thought he did. Okay.
Maybe he did. I may have just missed it, but
he was wrong. So anyway, we'll see what happens next week. I'm really liking Katie still. I think she has like great one-liners on there still.
Katie's good.
She's good. All right. So Salt Lake City, very dramatic opening. They need to change up the openings of these shows. Like the sitting down, like, I'm a girl. Like, it's like behind the scenes, like them sitting down in the chairs and people are in our lives. And
it worked when it was like the Denise Richards Brandy thing, right? Where they're all like reacting to the news. And then all of a sudden you see Denise come at the end and sit on the green screen of like, I didn't run away. I'm back, or last season when it's like, we had the big bombshell that Heather discovers and it opens with that. And then it rewinds all the way back to the beginning. And we know that's what we're going to. Like those types of things I think are really fun. This one I just felt was a little a little too campy and a little too over dramatic.
It was, and it felt very like this is the first season as well.
Yeah.
Kind of like the way, we let people into our lives and all this. It was
overkill.
Yeah. The heart-shaped dress from Broman, that scene was so funny.
It was a coat. It was a heart-shaped coat.
It's a costume. Costume.
That was gold. And poor girl, she comes in, she already fucks up with the costume comment, and then she fucks up with telling Mary about how she was poor, and then Mary's like,
hoarder.
Yeah, and a hoarder, and I was like, oh my god.
She's like, no, I wasn't poor. And then it cuts to like the interview screen. She's like, who is this?
Yeah.
She never remembers anybody who's on the cast. Like, I feel like she wakes up every day. She's like, who are we filming with today?
Yeah.
Who's that person again?
She's so in her own world. It's hilarious.
But I'm liking this season so far that she's good friends with Angie now. And she's actually partaking in events. Remember, she was just sitting in the van and get McDonald's and just didn't fucking want to film.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, now she's full time. Now they are giving her some money, so she's showing up to work.
Do you think that's what it is? Yeah, probably.
I think that's a part of it. Yeah.
Then you went over to Whitney and Meredith then with the bath bombs.
Yeah.
She got her good. She got
her so good because Meredith was so like, you stole this from me.
Yeah.
And then Whitney's like, really? Because like I originally had bath bombs. And she's like, no, you didn't. She's like, you carried my brand in your store. And Meredith's like, I didn't carry bath bombs. She's like, because you didn't order bath bombs, but you still like, I still had bath bombs in that line.
I mean,
and also, has Meredith launched her bath bombs yet?
No, I think it was just something that she talked about, right?
She's been talking about it.
She talked about it on the reunion that like, oh, and I think somebody came up with the idea and she's like, oh, that's great, like, or whatever. No, she was just mad that she didn't get to it first or something. I don't know.
Well, because she thinks that like she's made baths her entire brand from the show, but like,
I mean, and then it went from the bath bombs and she was like, oh shit. She's like, I totally fucked up here. And she comes over with the fucking scroll.
Oh my God, Angie, that was so like Angie inserted herself into that. She's like, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? I'm like, Angie, can't you see they're fighting right now? Like, can you like give it another, like do another lap, like come back?
I feel like Angie had the whole scroll, like, so she can have it on the set of like Watch What Happens Live. She wants it to be like an iconic
she wanted a moment. Yeah.
It's like the bunny,
But like the bunny wasn't forced. Like this is like Angie is so forced with, who Angie reminds me of is Adriana Demora from Miami. Like, she always like, she always has these props and she always does these like theatrics.
And all the things she wanted apologies for in the past. And didn't Meredith say, like, I thought we'd gone through this. Like, I apologize. Like, why are you bringing it up again?
Not only did they go through that, but everything that she's saying Meredith said were things that Monica said that Meredith said. And it's like, Monica doesn't have a great track record of being honest. So it's like, why are you believing Monica? Because Meredith's like, I never said that. And I believe Meredith never said that because Monica's the only one that's claimed that Meredith said that. But we know Monica was lying the entire time.
So like sue her for her house or take her house. What was the thing that she said? Like,
And I think Meredith made like some comment about like, well, I mean, like about suing her, but like she didn't make it specific to like, sue her so that you can take her house so that her kid is homeless.
Like, stole my goddamn house. Okay, Kim. The dinner table. Then we get into the dinner table. I mean, it was a really like explosive episode. It was really good. It kept me going. It was moving fast. It didn't get boring. The dinner table, so much screaming. I think they edited it that way. Like, I don't think they were all screaming, like, but it looked like.
I thought so too, Stu. I thought the same. I was like, there's no way this is all happening at the same. But there was a pan shot, like a wide shot of all three of them talking at Whitney at the same time. And I was like, oh, they really were all coming at her at the same time. Because at first it was just a bunch of individual shots. But then when they pull out into the wide, you see all three of them are just like going off at the same time.
I was watching and I was like, okay, Whitney's right here. And then I'm like, oh, no, wait, there, Lisa's right here. And then the other girls are getting in. They're like, no, you're lying. And you lied about this, which makes you a liar. And Whitney's like, I don't know.
Whitney just wasn't catching any breaks during that dinner. They were all coming at her, bringing up everything that she's ever done. What Whitney is, Whitney, she's not a liar, but she's a shit talker and she's a pot stir. And that's what all of these examples are her either talking about somebody or stirring the pot about something or bringing up a rumor that she heard from someone. But I don't think Whitney's like a liar. I just think she, she knows how to do her job on the show.
What about Barlow then? Like, is Barlow the liar? Like, because they're talking about this podcast. And Lisa didn't listen to that podcast. She was hearing rumors. People are like, she's talking shit about you.
Her,
because Whitney was like, well, tell me, what did I say? What did I say that you're mad with me? And she's like, I'm not going to say it because she doesn't really know. Is the worst thing she said, like she called her a villain?
It was that she's the villain, yeah.
I mean,
which isn't even that big of a deal.
No,
it's fine.
But the reaction was insane. Did that trigger her? Maybe she is the villain? Because I mean, that reaction was insane.
It was over the top. Like it was I don't know. It was dumb.
It was dumb. I know.
Listen, people have said worse things on podcasts, and it's usually mine.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Podcasts or radio shows. I get it. This just came out. Somebody DM'd me last night, my friend. So Ben Affleck is cheating now.
Who's he cheating on?
Allegedly with Kick Kennedy. Who's that?
Oh, first of all, that's old. And he's getting divorced. You can't cheat on somebody when you're divorced.
I thought they were getting back together.
No, but also he's already come out and shut down the Kick rumors. So Kick Kennedy is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr. It's his daughter, his older daughter. She's a very pretty girl. But so he came out and he's like, no, I've been friends with her for years. She's a scam likely.
Okay. There you go. Do you know what? You can be friends. You definitely can be friends. Are you watching any good TV right now? Are you watching the Mormon thing?
I saw the Mormon Wives, yes.
Is it good? Should I watch it?
It's good. It is good. I feel like you're out of the thunder of it all now. Like the popularity is wearing off.
Okay.
But it is good.
The date that I'm going on tonight, he's like, don't watch it because I want to watch it with you. I'm like, okay. Great.
How many times have you seen this person? Why? You move way too fast. Like
I didn't do anything.
It gives me so much anxiety listening to how fast you move sometimes. I'm like,
I mean, it's literally fucking been a year. Like it's a year next month.
You've been talking to this guy.
No.
How long have you been talking to this guy? Because now you're already making plans to cuddle on the couch and watch Mormon Wives.
I mean, like if everything goes well, obviously, like that'll happen. But here's the thing:
even that you're talking about that, like it literally, like the commitment issues in me, like are so triggered. Like I don't like that.
Look, he's a lot of fun. It's just there's good sarcasm and he's funny and all that kind of stuff. It's great. One last thing before we go, and this happened, and I think it's crazy. And you love all this kind of stuff, like the Kabbalah, the universe, and like manifesting all that stuff, right? So this happened. Okay. Maybe I'll get some grace from you after I tell you this story. So I'm texting with this guy, right?
Okay.
Lots of fun. He's like, "What kind of music are you into?" Or whatever. We got to music, and I was like, "Oh, of course, Taylor Swift. Like, love her and stuff." I said, it's not just my band would be like One Republic. I see them all the time when they're in concert. I love them, blah, blah, blah. And he's like,
you're such like a 22-year-old girl. Like, what is that? Taylor Swift in One Direction?
One Republic.
One Republic. Oh, sorry. My bad. I retract that statement.
Okay.
Because I was like, One Direction. Like, what are you from? Like, come on.
No, I don't like One
Republic. Okay.
And so he's like, bullshit or whatever. And I'm like, no, really. Like when I was like here, like 15 years ago, they were casting for a music video and I went for the music video and I did a music video with One Republic. Like it was like I was a club goer. It was not a big role or anything like that.
Are One Republic even still popular?
Yes. They just brought out a new album. And so
really wasn't very good.
Texting him this. He's like, oh my God, that's really cute. You did a visit. Like you're like a fan of them. I'm like, yeah, it's like, it's, I really like them and whatever.
Okay.
No joking you. I go out of the messaging app and I see Messenger, like Facebook Messenger. I talk to my friend Jason on it all the time, but it's somebody else. It's my friend from Australia who I don't really talk to. Maybe I haven't spoken to him in the last 5 months, we'll say, right? And there, he has a question for me. The question says, hey, what was the name of that One Republic video that you were in? No shitting you. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is insane. Like, how that's universal. I'm aligned. Everything is good. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that is like, yeah. And then that night, my red band broke. So it means I completed something that I've moving forward into something. No, it all happened in that day.
How long have you been talking to this guy?
Like a week, I think.
Stu, you were thinking way too deeply into like
No,
you need to let these things progress organically.
Absolutely. No, I'm not.
You're already putting a wedding ring on it.
I get there tonight. I'm catfished. So anyway,
wait, you haven't even met him?
No, but just
you're already cuddling with him on the couch, watching
photographs back and forth. Like, great. No FaceTime interview here.
You should FaceTime these guys ahead of time so you don't get catfished.
No, I want to go to dinner. I want to have some drinks. I want to have a bit of fun. Like, we're gonna have fun. Okay, it's gonna be great. Whatever. I'll talk about it on Disaster Daters in the next volume of episodes. You'll have me back on. I'm in my prime now dating. And next week, can we please go to something about her?
Like, I went. Oh, why didn't you ask me about that? I went last week.
Was it good?
When I invited you and you were too busy.
No, I was so sick that day for some reason. I don't know what happened. Was it good? No. Like, right. Like,
it was fun. Like, I would give the experience overall maybe like a 6 out of 10.
A 6 out of 10. Okay. I'm going to go now.
The only points, like the only plus points were 1, they have alcohol. Great. 2, staff was very friendly. Great. 3, the sandwich wasn't terrible. And 4, the place is kind of cute.
It is cute. The place is very, very cute.
It's very cute. It's way too small.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like super cramped. Yeah, I have thoughts. I'll tell you.
Okay. Was Katie's mom there serving tables?
No Katie's mom, no Anne, no Katie, no Ariana. I get it. Ariana's busy, but I'm like, what the fuck is Katie doing where she's never at something about her?
You should get a manager's job there.
I mean,
they'll probably hire you. Zack Peters, tell everybody where they can find you, and thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you for having me again and again and again. You can find me all over the internet. My podcast is called No Filter with Zack Peters. I have another podcast called The Pop Report, which is all the latest celebrity news. And if you want a funny dating podcast, you can catch Disaster Daters. You can find me, Zack Peters, all over the internet.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. And I'll see you back here next week. Oh, the podcast now is on Mondays, not Wednesdays anymore. I'm shooting it on Fridays, so I get the nice recaps of the Housewives, and then it airs on Monday. Just so you know, everybody. Bye.